teachers. My name is Minh Phát. I'm from Group 7. Today I will talk about the difference between social service in US and social service in Vietnam. First, I will talk about the US. Uh, the first large-scale social policy program in the United States was assistance to Union Civil War veterans and their families. The program provided pensions and disability assistance from 1890 to the early 1920. The U.S. provided maternity policies as it provided pension for widows mothers. Historically, the United States has been less on social welfare than European countries, but only in terms of gross public social welfare spending. The United States tend to tax lower income people at lower rates and rely substantially on private social welfare programs. After taking into account taxation, public mandate, and private spending, the United States in the late 20th century spent a higher share on combined private and net public social welfare relative to GDP than did most advanced economies. Spending varies between different states in the United States. Add to veterans often re-grant of lands and pension for widows and handicapped veterans have been offered in on U.S. works provision were made for a full-scale system hospital and medical care benefit for veterans. By 1929, workers' compensation laws were in effect in all but 4 states. These state laws make industry and business responsible for the cost of compensating workers or their survivors when the worker were injured or killed in connection with his or her job. Retirement programs for many state and local governments pay teachers, police officers, and firefighters. Dating back to the 19th century, on these social programs were far from universal and vary considerably from one state to another. Next, I will talk about social service in Vietnam. In Vietnam, social service was born in a difficult context. Social service is understood as an activity related to charitable work, poverty reduction, protection of orphans, and care for the elderly and disabled, especially those with meritorious service to the revolution. Economic development has appeared in the society. The rich and the poor are distinctly. The poor are mainly concentrated in rural areas with low infrastructure conditions. In addition, there are health problems, illness. The elderly, from their social needs, require intervention and assistance from a term of professional social workers.
Hello everyone, my name is Đoàn Lê Ân and I will talk about poverty in United States and Vietnam. The first one, poverty in the United States of America refers to people who lack sufficient income to material provisions for their needs, although the United States is a relatively wealthy country by international standards. Poverty has consistently been present throughout the United States, along with efforts to elevate it from New Deal legislation during the Great Depression to National War on Poverty in the 1960s to poverty alleviation efforts during the 2008 Great Recession. Among married couple families, 5.8% live in poverty. Among single-parent male or female families, 26.6% live in poverty. And the last one, among individuals living alone, 19.1% live in poverty. And the poverty rate in Vietnam in 2002, according to the National Standard of Vietnam, in 12.9%, and according to the United Nations standard, it 29%, in which the rate of hungry households is 9.9%. According to the aggregate poverty index, Vietnam ranked 41 out of 95 countries in 2004. According to the Overseas Development Agency report, Vietnam is a country that has achieved many achievements in the field of poverty reduction. Criteria measure the poverty level of households in Vietnam. This standard is different from the average poverty line in the world. According to the decision of the Prime Minister of Vietnam on the easing of the poverty line applicable for the period 2006-2010 is rural areas, households with an average income of 2,000 Vietnam dong person per month or less are poor, and urban areas, households with an average income in Vietnam dong person per month or less are poor. This is an
Hello everyone, my name is Wu. I will talk about the healthcare in the Vietnam and the healthcare in the US. So the public healthcare in the Vietnam, the experts who live in the Vietnam often report that the descendant of the country public hospital is not public, they would to be accessible to public hospital in the Vietnam is for the unfunded and inequality is equivalent. Waiting time can be long in the rural and quality of the healthcare is considered worse. And the public healthcare in the US, where public hospitals do exist across the country, they are few and far between compared to the number of private hospitals. The good news is standard of care is likely to be high as both, and the public hospitals are cheaper than private hospitals. However, the treatment at the public and private hospital online is still much more expensive compared to the many other countries worldwide. Another downside is long waiting time. The private healthcare in the Vietnam, the standard of the private hospital in the Vietnam is excellent and more or less in line with the standard, which more expensive would be due to private hospital in the Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City are often staffed by the doctor, medical professional who complete their study in the US, Korea, and Japan and French. As a doctor in the hospital are of trained overseas, they are generally likely to speak good English or French. Most basic treatment are private healthcare policy, which is covered by the International Healthcare Insurance Policy, which price for specialist treatment are still very cheap. Private healthcare in the US, the majority of hospital in the US is relatively run by the non-profit community organization and relative both in the investor. Whereas medical treatment is more expensive in the private hospital, so expect won't have to worry about the pill at the end. Waiting time in private hospital are much shorter than public. They are also generally offer more comfort and privacy. The health insurance in the Vietnam, as the nation health insurance plans in the Vietnam is the work of the fresh local and that counted for in the chain of private cover. For expense, is the best. Try to invest to the international health insurance policy before arriving in the country. Where possible, spend to check hospital insurance company to ensure their product will be full covered. Spend should for policy which cover them for medical, education, and treatment outside Vietnam. The healthcare in the U.S. Some employer often health insurance or park regulation pocket. So expense should find out whether in their contract if not really worthwhile to the intent to cancellation inclusion. The policy in the Vietnam is spent to the fresh. The policy in the Vietnam will is spent within bigger town and the city. They are usually located in any shopping street or in the mall, and they are general with stock. Watching medical over counter is relatively straightforward. More relative policy is done into the diabetes hospital or clinic. The gravity in the US, they are planned to change in Japan. Diabetes total America, they are stock the broad name and generate medication and spend unlikely to find anything they need. Generate and refer they are cost a list but along medication or generate in which case price can be high. Emergency service in Vietnam in event of medical emergency to the number to call in the Vietnam is 115. Unfortunately, ambulance response are very slow. Policy don't necessary to speak English and equipment may be substandard. Emergency service in the US, the number to call is 911. Operator is able to assist English and stay with law enforcement pollution and spend plus wheelchair well training. However, ambulance response time is emergency will service is often very swift within center more spread relative location typical take longer to reach and nation average response time in 15 minutes.
Hello everyone, my name is Nguyễn Huỳnh Thảo Vi. I will talk about healthcare in the UK and healthcare system in Vietnam. Healthcare in the UK is a divorce matter, with England, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales each having their own system of policy-funded healthcare, funded by and accountable to separate government and parliament together with smaller private sector and voluntary provision. As a result of countries having different policies and priorities, a variety of differences now exist between these systems. Despite there being separate health service for each country, the performance of the national health service across the UK can be measured for the purpose of making international comparisons. In a 2017 report by the Commonwealth Fund ranking developed country healthcare system, the United Kingdom was ranked the best healthcare system in the world overall and was ranked the best in the following categories. The UK system was ranked the best in the world overall in the previous three reports by the Commonwealth Fund in 2007, 2010 and 2014. The UK's palliative care has also been ranked as the best in the world by Economist Intelligence Unit. On the other hand, in 2005 and 2009, cancer survival rates lost 10 years behind the rest of Europe, although survival rates continue to increase. Healthcare system in Vietnam, as a combination of Eastern medicine and Western medicine, the healthcare system in Vietnam is currently oriented to universal healthcare system that will provide the whole population with basic medical care. Today, most residents in Vietnam have to pay for medical service themselves. At present, health service in Vietnam rank enormously between urban areas and rural areas. Therefore, experts should have proper preparation when traveling in Vietnam. Health system in Vietnam urban area. Almost all major Vietnam hospitals, including both public and private hospitals, are located in big cities where healthcare facilities are well equipped and expansion of commuter exponentially increased. Public hospitals. Fortunately, the standard of public hospitals in Vietnam do not satisfy expectations as those in America or Europe. The public healthcare establishment in Vietnam is partially underfunded. However, healthcare providers are well experienced and qualified doctors. A public hospital in such cosmopolitan cities as Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City is always overloaded with constantly existing bed capacity. Besides, doctors and staff in public hospitals normally only speak Vietnamese. Private hospital. On the other hand, private hospital in Vietnam is better equipped with modern technology and high standard service, and staffed by qualified doctors who have trained overseas. The cost of medical care in private hospital is generally higher than that in a public hospital, but lower than that in Western countries. And international health insurance is accepted in Vietnam private hospital. In addition, doctors and medical staff working in private hospital in Vietnam can often speak English, French, and other languages, which make medical examination easier for foreigners in Vietnam. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone, my name is Nguyễn Hoàng Lân. Today I will talk about UK and Vietnamese population, the identity, demographic structure, and society security. Okay. First of all, I will talk about the UK population and Vietnamese. By the time of 2019, UK population had reached almost 66 million people, while Vietnamese have already surpassed with the number of 19.6 million people. By this record number have shown that Vietnamese have its population far more than UK at the same time. With the population density have also widely different from each other. Therefore, UK is 259 people per square kilometer, while Vietnamese have 311 people per square kilometer. The population of UK have undergone dramatic transition, while the population of Vietnamese have already skipped this step and went to the socialist kind of society. However, the literacy rate of UK seems to be higher than normal Vietnamese population, which are UK high literacy, literacy and Vietnamese moderate literacy. the phenomenon language overall is also different. It is English in the United Kingdom and Vietnamese in Vietnam. Okay. Okay. Next we will talk about the Changing family structure in UK and Vietnam. Both UK and Vietnam share the same family aspect. Each family are mostly share the same 4 or 5 family, and they have the similar quote like my family are more important to me than my friend. However, most of the family in Vietnamese people tend to want to have more children than in UK, but the default welfare is better than Vietnam. However, okay. Next we will talk about society security, income support, job seeker allowance, child benefit, housing benefit, and many more. In UK, the society security have budget from Vietnam. For that reason, the UK seems to have more info and more detail for each one of it. And of course, also more quality in Vietnam in many aspects. While UK seems to have more benefit and easier to obtain in UK, Vietnamese, on the contrary, seem to have lacked up a bit in this aspect and perhaps may need to improve a bit more to be ideal. But still on the right side, Vietnamese society is still better than many other countries around the globe.